All right, so let's talk about just really quick email sync, right? I already showed you if you open an account, you'll see an email tab. If you don't see an email tab, that's because you don't have email sync toggled on for this particular client. So you want to make sure that email sync is toggled on. So what is email sync and how does it work? Right up at the top under account settings, you're going to find all of these settings that are personal to you. So you can have 10 team members and each team member will have these sections specific to them, right? So you'll have personal details available here. You'll have capacity if you do capacity planning. We have, login details if you want to update your password, if you want to do two-factor authentication. We have chat notifications. I'll talk about that later because we're still in beta with that, but it's a really neat feature that's going to come through. Notification preferences. We have Inbox Plus and email notifications. So I always feel like Inbox Plus notifications, always have them on. But on the email section, if you want to get notified if somebody signed something, then go ahead and check mark that. Otherwise, you will be notified in Inbox Plus, which is right up here. It serves as a notification center. It's not necessarily an inbox for an email, although it can serve that purpose. It's not necessarily just an inbox. The Plus serves as a notification center for all of these items that you see here. You'll be notified with somebody uploads something, if somebody signs something, if there's a chat message that was answered. So my suggestion is when you start testing, have all of these on, but eventually if you don't want to get bombarded with 1,000 emails a day because you have, we're dealing with 200 clients daily in a pipeline, you might not need to be notified every single time. You can manipulate this section here. Now, what I really want to get to is the email sync. Yours is looking different if you haven't synced your email. So you're going to add your email address here, preferably the one that you use with your clients, right? And what will happen is that it will synchronize any emails that have historically been available for your clients with this email address. So this email address that you see here, this is mine. And if any of my clients have interacted with this email, those are the emails that will synchronize with TaxStone. It serves as a mirror. So you can generate emails through your email provider. If you have Outlook, for example, you can still email your clients through Outlook. They're just going to copy over in here and neatly find them in the email tab of that client, right? So you can add a signature on here. I have a fancy HTML one, but you can do what you see is what you get email signature, which is just adding your name and maybe the company address, or you can have no signature. I always add a signature for professionalism. Is why I always do. Please, 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 always add a signature. Let's take a look at how that is looking like. This is how this is looking like. For example, I'm going to open up this test email, which is a bunch of gibberish that I wrote, but this is how it looks like when somebody emails you, right? And when you look at this information, they may attach something into the email when in fact probably wanted them to upload it, but they instead sent you an attachment. You can save to TaxDome, click on this button, and it'll tell you where you want to save it and what folder, and then you just upload it. It'll show up in their folder. So if you go to Docs, this is where that stuff is going to show up, right in here. That's where I threw it. I wanted to be in these folders, not in an email attachment. So it's really neat to showcase that historical stuff is here. If you've been emailing your client since 2010, those emails are going to show up on here. You won't see any intrusive emails like your Facebook messages or anything like that. That's not how it works. How it works is any email that has been interacted with any of your clients will be mirrored and neatly organized in TaxDome's email tab. Okay, so just remember that email sync is important for you to answer your clients. You can answer them right in here, by the way. Forgot to demo that really quick. So you can answer by clicking on this and then answer your clients with whatever, answer that you need. Once you send this, this actually will be visible that you sent it out through your provider as well. So again, tax home as a mirror. All right, so just want to check if there's any questions about any of the emailing. If not, I'll go. Oh, I think somebody asked about short. I want to show you how short codes work really quick because I think it's more than one person asked about that. So not only in the engagement letters can you do short codes, okay, but you can do short codes in creating jobs. You can use short codes in emails. What are short codes? Short codes are these actions that grab information from databases, right? So, for example, in the subject of my email, if I want to add a short code and want to do something like account name, um, 2024 tax for account name. What this will be looking like on your client's end is not like it's not going to look like this, by the way. It's going to fill in whatever their account name is, right? So, for example, if I sent this to Fab LLC, there on their end, they're going to see the subject line 2024 tax for Fab LLC. That's how a short code works. Specifically in emails, you can do short codes for contact information. So if I say hello, all right, so hello and then short code first name, and then the body of the email here, right? Just some gibberish there. So when I send this out to 500 accounts, it's going to fill in their name, not a blank section, right? So hello, if it's John, is if it's Mary, if it's Katie, is going to fill in their name. So never again will you have to tailor any email anymore because it's automatically going to do it for you with short codes. Short codes can be called upon whenever you see this little plus button and it says short code. You can call upon an address, zip code, years, last year, current year, next month. So it automatically will populate for you. And you can actually use tailored fields, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit to fill this in. So if you use like a client ID number for your clients, you can use client ID as a short code. So we'll show you how to do that, but hopefully that clarifies a little bit more on how short codes work. They're really nice to tailor some of the material that you need to send out to your clients. All right, so I am going to start sharing something else now because I want to get started on accounts and contacts. So before we get going, Katie, can
Yes.
you tell us, because I think you might be able to, like I onboard clients all the time, but sometimes it's difficult to differentiate between accounts and contacts because I already kind of moved through this a little quickly, but I want to pause and take our time to understand what this is looking